oats milk latte drinking, avocado toast eating.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
Can I take cocaine with my spouse?
No, sir. No, sir.
I did not call Senator Sanders an ignorant slut.
I'm not talking about buying it, but let's suppose I came in one day and the cocaine was there.
Okay. We cannot run the greatest economy by putting fairy dust and unicorn urine in our cars. Urinate to get off the pot. My car doesn't run off fairy dust. My car doesn't run off unicorn urine. Stick it up their fact checker. They can kiss my ass. Somebody at the White House has been smoking the devil's lettuce. Okay. I don't mean disrespect, but the mayor needs to take her meds.
Christmas ornaments, drywall, and Jerry Epstein. Name 3 things that don't hang themselves.
Oh, that was a good one. I liked that. I liked having that palate. Sir, we need some laughs today.
The spending porn on pet projects. It's just chock full of spending porn. There's an enormous amount of spending porn.
We got a couple of them like that.
I love that, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, we needed something to laugh today. Seriously.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
Oh man, that's
unicorn urine.
Use that one.
I hope they do come out with a car that can use unicorn urine. Maybe we can find it somewhere. Who knows?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we had to. I'm so glad we started out with a laugh today.
That's like the 4th time watching that, and it still makes me roll. My goodness.
God. See, I'm glad we did watch it because yesterday when we actually watched it, we wouldn't have been able to talk for about 5 minutes. So it's probably a good thing that we got the initial laugh.
Go John Kennedy. Man.
He's cool, though. I really like him. There's some people in there that just, you can tell, though, that he's like no nonsense. He's going to tell you what he thinks. And those are the people I can usually read and trust just a little bit more, to be honest with you. We need more people like that.
Yeah, no
We
crap.
just need more people that's going to talk truth, I mean.
Even if some of the truth sounds absolutely nutty like he did on, call a crackhead. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man.
He can stick it up his fat checker.
I did not call her an ignorant slut.
I just know. Senator Sanders, I think, is a guy, right? Am I right?
Oh God.
The beginning of the week was really, really good for us. Tuesday came and a red wave just came and flushed all over the nation, changing seats, groundbreaking in some areas.
That's right.
And I am going to point those out because we need to have our win. We need to start having the win because this is the part that the American people are showing what they think with their votes.
Well, I'm just, at one point, I really am glad that the people actually got out there and voted because, a lot of push from our side was saying, don't go out there and, it's all rigged and stuff. Well, who gives a crap? While it's rigged, we need to fight just as hard while it's rigged.
That's why, like, even with Trump's election, that was why it was able to be seen because there were so many actual votes for Trump. It was hard to push it down so far. If you hadn't had such a turnout, they could have just easily flipped a lot of stuff. Nobody would have noticed.
It's a lot of things that had to play out and work out during that election. And one of the main things is something that I love is the Space Force that he implemented. Like one of his first things he implemented when he got in. And what Space Force does, basically it's watching all that communication around the globe. Yeah. Like that's what it's doing. So, some generals or some people in Trump's ear knew what the deal was, have known what the deal was. And the only way to catch them was to set up that trap. Yeah. And when we did the voting dumps, when we just showed up in numbers, they knew that would happen. They knew that they could watch the real-time deception and the real-time theft happening with the election. And, man, I love it.
Well,
I love it. They're caught.
Okay,
man.
so people showed up, definitely in Virginia. Virginia was a big win for us. One awesome thing is we've got a new lieutenant governor. There she is. and I love it. She is. She was endorsed by the NRA. She is a Jamaican immigrant. That she came here when she was 4, and she has always been very patriotic and wanted to serve this country. I do hate that she can't run for president in the future, but I do hear that she wants to move up from Virginia.
Right.
So and really, if anybody can go back and just watch her acceptance speech from that night, it can inspire you beyond anything. I loved it so much.
Yeah, don't let that picture scare you.
No, make it you hopeful that this is a person that's getting in there that knows that we need our rights to bear arms. That's right. And how important that it is.
That's right. She's a Marine.
Yes, she's a Marine veteran, and she's got a beautiful family too. You have to look her up, but she is awesome, and she's also kicking it. She's got a really good Twitter, social media team because she's already starting to make memes on people and things like that. So I love it. She's kind of trying to troll them just a little bit. It's great. Let's please keep this up because I think it's working. Keep it up. Okay.
The meme war is won.
So here's the 3 that won that day. You know, you got Glenn Youngkin is the new governor. Woo!
Yay.
And then we've got Winsome Sears. And then who's this gentleman? This gentleman.
Jason, I say Miyares, man. I'm going to Americanize the heck out of that last name. It's spelled Miyares. And Myers is how it's going to come out of my mouth.
Before we cut it off here, I'm just going to make sure that we've got that name right. Because I want to make sure and get everyone here. And I'm going to put all 3 of their handles in the description so people can go and follow them on Twitter. Because it sounds like there's going to be plenty of stuff coming from them, and they're kind of starting off this red wave. And let me tell you another special person that got elected. Edward Durr. He is a GOP state senator from New Jersey that just got in there, and he literally, truck driver, wanted to serve his country, and he made it in there. I mean, I think he was a write-in ballot. Like, he wasn't even, like, on the official, and he beat out... Sweeney. And Sweeney was like 1 million plus in his campaign. So good job.
Sweeney
we had the red wave, and we're so excited about that. So let's see. We have a red wave that came in Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So last night.
So pat on the back on the Republican side, man.
Okay.
Pat on the back.
We're gonna have to pat on one side with all the good conservative Republicans actually fighting for our rights. Let's now give
we gonna watch
1, 2
them
K punch O, because last night 8 coward Rhino GOP sided in the House with the Democrats and passed the stupid Biden infrastructure bill. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna primary all those people out.
Right.
We're gonna get their names and see, like, it's gonna be in states that I don't live in, but I'm gonna promote whoever is running against those people. And we're going to have all these other people around the country that's going to be promoting that too, and promoting what they did the whole time.
Yeah, and I don't want this to seem like some kind of cheer for Republican type podcast. All right, now the only reason I bring that up is because
conservative.
Yes, but Youngkin, we're going to be watching you.
Yes.
Like I've heard some stuff, but we don't need to just throw all our hopes on even Trump, But I mean, that's what I love about this awakening that's happening is everybody is awake, and we're aware of our values, our conservative Christian values for sure, and it should be Christian conservative values because the Christianity part is the one that we need to be looking at those conservatives if they're actually putting that into play.
And you got to think about it because Christianity was in the document of the Constitution was where we got our rights.
Right.
That's
and
why
they'll
it
say,
makes
they weren't all
Christians.
Right. But that's why they wanted
Some
the
were
freedom.
atheists. They still agreed that we had God-given rights. These were the rights that were given to us by being a natural-born human being.
Human.
Basically. But it is our God-given right.
And what's the first one, people? Freedom of speech. Do not suppress this
No, you can't
Please
suppress
don't
this.
try. Don't
What?
try because it is.
Wait. You need to go ahead and say what your
Compress this. Don't suppress this.
exactly.
Compression.
Not suppression.
So we, compress our videos. It's an editing type. A nerdy little saying. We're going to compress, not suppress.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
Thank you, Branson Coburn. That's
there
a cousin.
you go. Shout out to my cuz. All right.
Man, for real. Who,
So-
just an off rabbit trail, whatever, he is polar opposites
Yes.
on the political spectrum.
Yeah.
But yet I love the crap out of him. So is my sister. My sister's polar opposite. Polar.
But they do have common sense, which is why I think even some of the issues that most people would have just been led by the nose, even Atty has come up and gone, wait, that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense.
We believe in Jesus Christ and we unite behind that. And that's where we can love each other and completely disagree. And we can even talk about it. I had a 2-hour conversation with my cousin in here last night, and he was helping me with some computer stuff. He's, got degrees and all that stuff. And so he's helping me with some technical things. And we were talking about it. And I mean, we just had a great conversation. He gets why I think where I'm at. I get, where he's thinking where on the political spectrum, but we can come together enough to not throw each other out and just demean one another. We don't want to demean the people that think that the vaccine is gonna save them and that if we're not taking it, we're putting them in danger. I don't want to demean them. I want to debate them. I definitely want that doctor debate to happen. That happened in the last episode. I want that to happen.
Which
soon.
we can get on. We can get on it.
Off topic. I'm gonna believe
But
you.
no, but I'm thinking about
Red
just
wave.
the debates in general with people that, it's one thing to debate. It's another thing to tear down, rip apart, character assassin. That's not a debate. I'm speaking of debating your topic versus my, your side and point of view versus my side and point of view, and having a discussion. I like those. I think I have an open mind. I do. And I just ask that the other person have an open mind. You don't have to agree with me. Just have an open mind.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think that's going to help us solve. I mean, I was watching Glenn Beck Friday. His last 30 minutes, he actually took a call from a first-time listener, liberal, and she wanted to call in. She wanted to talk about the vaccine and how she feels that the vaccine, that it would help. That she doesn't agree with mandates, but that people should get vaccinated and they should wear a mask and all the stuff like that. And he let her have her conversation. There was even another guy that ended up popping up, and they were making a joke about him, just mystery guy in the background. Let him talk too. And, Glenn talked, Stu talked. They all talked, had a good conversation. And the guy, not Glenn, the guy at the end of the conversation, right at the end of the phone call, said, you know what? We may not agree. I may not agree at all about what you just said or you with me, but I do think that these conversations need to be had so we can understand each other. And, because you don't have to call each other names. That's not going to help. And I'm in my head just thinking, yeah.
Well,
we all need to do that.
Right. It feels good to the listener.
Yeah.
And it feels good to the speaker. When that guy called in and he could actually get into a back and forth conversation without demeaning the other person, it felt great. And it made you respect that person you were talking to.
We're going to cut that part too. Okay. So don't do that. Okay. You better cut this out. So the next thing, though, I hate to say this, is going to have to take a little turn downward a little bit. Well, some newly breaking news of today, emails that have come out of the Freedom of Information Act. Thomas Massey posted earlier Fauci's emails. So this is from Elisa E. Downs to Valerie Morali. They're both in the CDC. It's just basically the first one saying we need to change the definitions because people are saying that the COVID-19 vaccines are not vaccines per CDC's own definition. Could you take a look and let me know if this looks okay to you? The MNRA language was pulled from the COVID-19 website, which that's pretty interesting in and of itself. Okay, here's the second email, August 25th. To Valerie, the definition vaccine we have posted is problematic. People are using it to claim that the COVID-19 vaccine is not a vaccine based on our own definition. They posted that the currently posted definition for a vaccine at that time was a product that stimulates a person's immune system to produce immunity to a specific disease, protecting the person from that disease. Vaccines are usually administered through the needle injections, but can also be administered by mouth or sprayed into the nose. They want to update it to vaccine, preparation that is used to stimulate the body's immune response against vaccines. Vaccines are usually administered through needle injections, but some can be administered by mouth or nose. That's a big difference. And so apparently we're not going to be working on getting our vaccines to be better at keeping us immune and actually keeping us what we're supposed to be healthy from. We're just going to change the language and then make that work somehow. Okay. So last one was September 1st. Does this definition need to be updated as well? Vaccination means the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease, to something like vaccination, the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce protection from a specific disease. Doesn't say immunity anymore, just protection. That way that they can't claim, if you get it, that you weren't immune to it, because now their immunity in it of itself is going to change.
Very convenient.
That's a little crazy.
It sounds like they're fixing the game a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean,
and getting caught in the act of fixing the game. I mean, come on.
If you check the dates, this was put out pretty much to be in line with what Biden was saying. Biden would say it, and then CDC would want to change it.
You know what I was thinking when you were reading that? It's like, guess what they're afraid of? What we talked about on our first episode.
Well,
the information cannons.
Yeah.
And people are going to be vaccine. They're going to look up the definition. And what are they going to find? Well, this is supposed to be a product, and it's supposed to give me immunity. And it's not doing either. The product, they changed to, what did they change it to? Product to preparation.
Preparation to get your body prepared.
That's
to
like
fight it off.
from a noun to a verb. Really... Like they're completely changing the whole
language of it. The whole what it means. Period.
I can't. I mean, and we got it right there in our face too, man. That's black and white.
It's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And by between stuff like this happening here, and what happened last night after having such a red wave,
what would be an alternate? What would be the opposite to that? What would be something that the right? What's a word that we would like to change? Can you think? Like,
I personally don't want to change any words.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I don't think it's right to change any kind of language.
Right. I don't think it's right either. That's why I want to use it as an example. Like, what's a word that they could look up for us or something, and you know, I'm trying to think. Like, if the
Christian?
right side. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking Christian. I'm thinking taxes or something. I mean,
RINOS?
But we could just change if we just change the definition to
it wouldn't make the actual word
go away. Well, don't you think that they
away.
would kind of throw up a flag and get on their videos saying, "Hey, look at here."
Oh yeah, they're gonna change. I'm trying to think now. Okay, we'll think about
an alien.
Oh yeah, like the illegal alien. We want to change that. It's the same thing.
If we just changed the definition of illegal alien, then we made it legal to deport them. You know, because we changed the definition, and I mean, this is talking
immigrant.
about just
we changed it from illegal alien to an illegal or immigrant without documentation or something like it was something weird where you don't put the word illegal in it.
We don't
either.
need to be changing definitions.
Let me tell you, I will
when we are
stick
in
illegal
the
on
heat,
somebody who came in illegally every single time.
When you are in the heat of a debate, the vaccine debate to be specific, you don't change the definition to vaccine.
That just makes the optics look horrible, guys. I mean, I'm just letting you know, if you really want to try to run the world,
optics.
Stop making your optics look so spooky and evil. And stop whenever you have a big election that was obviously predicated on, an issue of the day. Don't then turn around and then, people that are also on our side listen to this too. Don't then turn around and still keep doing what you want to do.
Or do it.
Because
do it, and we'll keep calling you out like this.
You out, but it's a good thing that you are doing it. But I'm just trying to kind of like, if you want to do that, optics look awful. Just saying.
That's
horrible.
Ridiculous, man. I'd like to hear what John Kennedy has to say about that.
It must suck to be that dumb.
Okay, enough of that.
Oh.
Okay. I had to have
Kennedy wouldn't be having it though.
I'm glad we have it. We have that now. Okay. I do want to also bring up one more thing that kind of makes my blood boil. Being a woman, having a daughter. You have a daughter. Your daughter goes. Your daughter is in a very high grade. What grade is she in?
8th.
8th grade.
Don't make me think that. That's getting cut too.
I know. Hey, you have more kids. You have more excuses.
That's
I have one. I should.
That's right. You said I have a daughter. I'm like, I got 3.
I know. But I'm speaking of the ones that are, junior high, high school age.
Yeah.
So would you really think that an average male, her age, would you think that she would be able to reasonably defend herself in a bathroom at the high school by herself with someone that was ever trying to overpower her?
Ooh, I don't even want to think.
And your daughter is very strong, and I know her. She can kind of scrap a little bit.
She's actually
she
already.
She can scrap.
She's already had to defend herself against a boy. Now, not sexually at all. But I think she took her hat or something or a shoe or something at PE,
boys.
And I mean she told me about it. She punched that dude in the chest.
Ooh.
Like just boom, and it took his breath out.
That's
and I'm sure it did because she takes my breath.
And as much as I feel like she could do the best that she could do, she is a female.
Yeah.
Smaller frame versus a male her age with a bigger frame.
Let me just pause right there. It don't matter about the frame. That is
and the mass.
Maddie could have whooped his butt, but it's a chivalry thing. It's just and it's
that's why guys aren't supposed to do it, and guys are supposed to stand up to other guys that are doing it too.
That's right, and guys want to.
Yeah,
it's in our blood. We just that's our woman. You don't treat women like that.
Yeah. That's why people that are raised right, men that are raised right, know how to treat women, at least as far as you don't touch them.
Right. I'm not going to hit a woman. Well, she's 300 pounds and 6 feet. I hit her.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse, man. You can, now, if she's attacking you,
that's
anyway.
different. And ladies, you should never hit. To me, the second you throw a punch, I don't care if it's a guy or girl, you've kind of opened it up. I'm just saying. And so don't do that, because we don't need to fight violence with violence anyway. If somebody's trying to hurt you, you get out of it, get out of the situation.
That's right.
But you don't, you open yourself up if you start hitting first, man or woman. But let me get back to what I'm saying. Since we don't believe that would be something obvious that we would believe a 15-year-old girl that may not have any kind of debilitating anything, that we're still not going to think that they would be able to be prepared to defend themselves. Well, the mother of and I can say this, convicted rapist in Loudoun County, wanted to say to the dad of the daughter that was assaulted by her son that she's 15, she can reasonably defend herself. And that just gets my blood boiling. Like, who thinks that way? Seriously. Who thinks that way? I wouldn't even believe that. Let's just say, I'm not going to use your son because it creeps me out, but let's just say you had a son, name him Ralph, and Ralph had an issue, and he actually tried to overpower a woman. Would you sit there and try to defend him? especially like out saying, hey, you know, the girl, she's his age. She should have been able to fight that off. Would you have been there? Would you have done that?
Of course not, because
No.
I have something up here that I like to use. It's
What's
in
it?
this skull.
What kind of it?
It's
What kind is it?
it's called a brain.
What kind of brain is
It's
it?
a wrinkly brain.
It's a wrinkly brain.
Wrinkly brain. Oh, that's yep. That's the
All right.
debut.
Yeah. By
of
the
that.
way, you can follow
be-
this man, Wrinkly
right.
Brain. He's about to start getting some videos, so you may want to watch out. In the
At
future.
Wrinkly Brain. But I feel sorry for that 15-year-old boy because he's been indoctrinated of those types of thoughts by that woman, you know, all his
Mhm.
life. You
Don't
know,
feel
and-
too bad though. He's now had 2 other charges of rape in a different school.
Gosh.
I'm just saying. Just to let you and our audience know, I'm speaking of the rapist that they call a boy in a skirt.
Yes.
Boy in a skirt. So
And
you know,
this
you
is
think
his
it's
mom, right?
You know, yeah, this is
Okay.
his mom.
Uh-huh.
So you
And
know,
she said that she had the right to defend
that she would be able to defend. She should be able to reasonably defend
herself against
A man.
her son.
You know, I haven't really seen the quotes, but I think that's what she used. But it's because he's gender fluid. Okay, so he can be a girl or boy.
It must suck to be that dumb.
Whatever. Pick a side. Any side, just pick a side.
How
I'm
does
just
that?
saying.
No, my only argument is like they're confused, man. Let them be solid in something, in knowing that they're a boy. You know, at least in their gender. Let them just not
be
be
their
confused
gender.
about that right now, because right now they're confused about, you know, all schoolwork, and they're confused about if they like baseball or not, or if they want to, you know, be on this, follow this person on YouTube or follow this person on Twitter. You know, let them be confused about those things, but let them get some foundation to them. You
Well,
know,
this
if you're
is
not going to let them
also-
get founded in Christ, let them get founded in humanity. Then, even just, and in humanity, you see that it's boy or girl. I mean, I know their argument is they just attack that argument. You know?
Oh yeah, that's
So,
why you want to know. Okay, so
There
this
are
is actually.
hermaphrodites, you know
let me
that.
just give you
I
a
mean,
brief overview. So
the heck?
this was the dad that came to the school board meeting. It was not having anything to do with CRT or mask mandates or anything. You want to know why he came up there? Because they were having a vote on
daughter
whether or
got
not to be able to have transgenders go in their, you know, new gendered bathrooms. And he was going up there because they had been trying to kind of sweep it under the rug as far as the situation with their daughter. And so he was going up there to make a public display about it. The mom was there as well. That's what the mom said to him. And that's what started that scuffle. The scuffle that ended up getting on videotape, where he was having a scuffle with the cop. Because he had the lady was sitting there literally saying it to his face. And so that was just before the school board wrote the letter to ask the...
if that was the truth, then the cops should have let her defend herself against that
Right.
grown-ass man coming at her.
Right.
Even
Right.
though he was not attacking her, her point is, hey, that girl, she should have been able to defend herself.
Well, then she should be able to
you
defend
can
herself.
defend yourself against this dad that's ticked
That's
off
right.
about it.
And he wasn't lunging at
So
her.
she
He was
ain't
actually
thinking of that.
frustrated trying to say stuff. The cop grabbed him from behind. He didn't know the guy was there. And
He didn't know it was a cop.
Yeah, he didn't know. He just kind of turned around and just grabbing whoever was grabbing him.
That's right.
Then it
man.
scuffled to the ground and he was pushed out. And then that's what they want to present as, this is the reason why we need to go into these school board meetings and shut down any parents that are threatening and
Not
violence
to
and blah,
condone
blah, blah.
violence at all.
No.
You know, if I was
Righteous
I
violence
can't
is
say,
okay, though. Righteous.
Right, but as a dad, I can't say that I even would or wouldn't have gone up there to the school board. Me personally, knowing me, I probably would have got in touch with 1 or 2 very important people.
When they were
And-
trying to
and
scoot it
got a
under the
meeting.
rug, though.
I know I'm not saying that here or there. I'm just saying I don't want you to think that we're like go dad going in there and putting his foot down and I'm not trying to say that. Because
they didn't want to say that the transgender bathrooms were going to be okay to be on campus. That's why he was saying that. He only went up there to sit there and say, no, this is why it would not be good.
Right. And
I didn't see anything
else. I don't know all that transpired before it. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to say how it should have went down, but the only point I'm making is I wasn't trying to condone. Yeah, if something crazy happens to your daughter or something, go on up there to them school boards and get in their face. That's what I don't want to look like I'm saying, No. But this dad,
that's why I'm reminding you and the audience what the actual story is, because that if you know the context and you know why that happened, and then from after that where school board wrote the letter, and then all of a sudden we have the director of the FBI going, oh, we need to get into and then of course the next I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later he went into he did the hearings, and then he was like, it was only I love how he all of a sudden talks just like this on his meeting,
Is that your Merrick Garland impression?
It sounds like this. I don't know what's up. Anyway, I'm not gonna say anything else about it because I don't know. It could be a medical issue, but he sounds nervous, and that's just my opinion. He does sound nervous.
He better be.
He may be nervous. That's the truth.
They all better be nervous, man, because after that red wave came through, it's just gonna get bigger. It's like a tsunami. It's not really like a wave, like it crashes into this. No, this is a tsunami coming. I'm telling you, it's a tsunami.
On Twitter, somebody took the Virginia state. It's kind of does like that, and then it drew a wave. I was like, I followed that dude just because I thought that was hilarious. Nice. I was like, exactly, because that's what it looked like. The chart of Virginia was all red, and then he just rode out the wave. I love it.
Speaking of waves and tsunamis, the tide is turning. It is, man. On this, even going back to the vaccines and COVID.
Scared. I'm telling you, that's why they're pushing this stuff through. That's why it's looking horrible like it is, and people are losing support. They're losing support from people who have had their support this whole time. It's just that
but there's still so many people to wake up.
There is, but I think it's coming.
Not to belabor that point, because man, when I look at the statistics, when I still look at the statistics, and they're like, oh, look, it's dropped to 47% Democrat. 47? There's still that many of them out there.
But there is, and let me tell you a way to and there's another thing that's coming up that's very positive. This new wave of really cool conservatives that are like songs leading top of the charts by Bryson Gray and by Loza Alexander that's been beating them for weeks and weeks and weeks. The culture war is what's going to win it for us. We need to fight back in a way that competes with them. They have all the major networks. They have all the big corporations. They have them in their pocket. Yeah. And the thing is that if we have people that can stand up on our side, you got Daily Wire that's coming out with movies and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, we need our kids shows. We need some really good drama series. We need some good and not even, sitcoms it's not that are not all woke.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We need ones that are just going to be. Now we can have funny ones. We can have ones that are comedic. It doesn't have to all be conservative.
Yeah, and political. It doesn't have to copy. It's not like we
just not woke.
Yeah, it's not like we have to have a movie, or a song. I just want some that are not going to try.
Do you know that Sesame Street is trying to talk kids into getting the vaccine? That came out today.
Who's not trying to talk the kids
into
getting the
vaccine? But I'm just saying, though, you got Sesame friggin' Street.
Oh, man, I wish I would have had this video for you to put up. Man, I wish I could just hold it up to the screen and show. But there's a lady talking about getting the kids getting the vaccine, and she is saying, I'm done with y'all. That she's holding her baby and everything, and she's
I saw that one.
I'm done with y'all.
Oh, yeah, that was on Crowder, and they were...
This is over. We're going to get vaccinated, and you stupid people that aren't getting vaccinated and not being safe for these little ones, and holds up her baby and all that. She's like, we're coming for you. Now, I hope your kids don't die, but I hope nobody dies. But, maybe we should just take your kids from you. Yeah. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. And
I showed that to my wife today. And
you got to go back. I think it was on
I wish I could have just screenshot her face when, like, at the end, like her mouth was out. It was like, it was like a mama bear wishes she could go through the phone type look.
There was another one too that apparently this mom kept the kid away from being outside, away from her friends for this whole time because this is what she did. TikTok, of course, it's TikTok. I'm sorry, but of course it was TikTok. I'm going to do a reaction video. And then she brought her, I think she was 8 or 9, and she was like, read what this says. And the little girl goes, by Monday or whatever the date is, 5 to 11-year-olds can get their vaccination shots. And she goes, oh. And she gives her mom a big hug. And she said, what does that mean? She says, that means I can go outside and I can go with my friends and I can go. And I'm sitting there with my mouth dropped like, you have seriously had that healthy child inside this whole time. And I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but we do know the comorbidity that's really worse with COVID-19 is kind of the heavier set. She was a heavier set lady. And I'm sitting there like, okay, lady, you just need to get your health under control. Your daughter is just fine, and she's not going to have any issues with it, but you're going to inject your daughter with that when you're the one that needs to be working on your own health. I mean, I know I can't say anything, but I know that I need to work on my own health. I'm not going to put that on someone else or put that on my daughter or anyone else. Yeah. I know I need to work on myself. So let's,
you know who that little kid reminds me of? Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
And that mom is saying, look, you know what that means? And Australia's going, we can go to the pub again?
Oh my God.
And we can go see friends again? Man.
That's just
I'm
awful.
still praying, Australia. Like, that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just pray. I just pray that everything turns out. Because if Australia falls, and I hate to say this on a really crazy note, if Taiwan falls, which is another thing that's come through today, that planes were seen from China going into Taiwan today. Between those two situations, that's what we need to be focusing on. You know, that's what like the Department of Justice and, like our military, our high-ranking officials, we need to focus on what's going to keep not only this country safe, but the whole world safe at the same time.
Yeah, international affairs needs to be focused on those kinds of things instead of worrying if they got a woke general or something.
I mean, stop worrying if the Taliban has women and, people of color on their thing.
Or even if your troops are vaccinated.
There.
Like, that's...
And we need to get our Americans out of there. Like, that's what we need to be focused on in Afghanistan, is getting our American and our Afghan allies out of there.
Anyways.
And then just leaving it alone. I'm just saying. Anyways, give me just a few minutes. I would like to say that we will be showing off our rap skills in the next couple of days. We have Bryson Gray's hashtag Let's Go Brandon Challenge. That's right. Steve-O's gonna come out, man. We got Steve-O and Kimbo Sliso.
Yeah, we're gonna put a track on. We're gonna give him a little track.
So we're gonna do our version of the Let's Go Brandon song. So it'll be posted here real soon. Hopefully we're going to get another video out there that's a rally that we ended up going to a few weekends ago. We wanted to kind of, we were getting this stuff started, so that's why it's taken us so long to post it. But it's a very good rally about vaccine rights for parents and just
it was. Who was the keynote speaker? Who was that?
That was Dale Bigtree from thehighwire.com.
That's right. That's right.
He did awesome. And you can go to thehighwire.com and actually see the MVPR rally or MPVR rally. It's one of those letters. Anyway, but it's the rally from Mississippi. We also had Keith Jenkins, which if I find the video, I may post it up with it. He was actually in New York. That Keith Jenkins guy was in New York.
Well, he had been all around the nation.
But that was after he went there. He was in New York after that because that was happening that day. Mm-hmm. And he was in the streets of Times Square just saying everybody needs to hug each other. We all need to just work on keeping ourselves close to one another and helping one another.
Just as much as they're pushing on this vaccine and to stay distant from each other is how hard we need to push and get
show
back
them
together,
that we're not sorry, we're not complying. I'm not complying.
Stand on our feet. Man, I wish we could have put that video on there too.
Which one?
With the Captain Higgins from Louisiana.
Yeah, I will
St. Landry
post that one
Parish.
though. I will post that one.
Yeah,
on
put that out
SK
there because they
Podcast,
need to see. That's what real men.
Okay, let's this is Representative Clay Higgins. I do have a video that I am going to post before he had run for the US House of Representatives. He was a captain and he did videos trying to catch these gang members, and they were just very inspiring. It was just, you can definitely tell that he is very, very pro Second Amendment, pro defending yourself. And he comes together in the video that I'm going to post, even with the black leaders of the community was sitting there saying, this is not a race issue. This is a right and wrong issue, and that if we don't stand up together and fight together.
Yeah, because he's not so stupid to not see the optics of what it looks like. Yeah. Somebody could have got a hold of this video that she's going to post with Higgins and just made it like a race baiting kind of thing, like a racist kind of thing. Because it's like 12 black guys and like one white dude that's in this gang that they're trying to catch in St. Landry Parish, Louisiana. And, so he's talking. I love it because Higgins is like standing there with his rifle and he's like talking mess to him just like he was a rival gang member, just saying, look, don't even mess around in my hood, just talking right back to him. You know where to find me. He's like, you 125 pounds, I lift dumbbells heavier than you. He's talking smack and I love it. But, so
I found that one after I saw this video on Twitter that I thought was really, really cool. So he is now a representative from Louisiana in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Now he's repping.
This is what he said today. You ready?
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the oppressor's intent is for you to comply with their mandates and commands. And they don't expect for you to comply with their commands until the end of COVID. They expect you to comply with their commands until the end of time. Let me be very clear to all you oppressors. You've drawn a line in the sand. Be prepared to defend your position, because some of us are free Americans and we would rather die on our feet than live on our knees. If you want to get a vaccine, get it. If you don't, don't.
Thank you.
That's called freedom. Freedom is what's at stake, and some of us are prepared to carry that fight with every drop of our blood. On January the 3rd, 2023, Republicans will be sworn into the majority in this House behind us here. The hallowed halls of Congress shall once again be under the control of Republican conservatives. On that day, myself and many of my colleagues will introduce legislation to reinstate my military brothers and sisters with full pay back into your rank. So stay hard, stay strong, stay in shape. We're going to get you back in your slot. And to my business brothers and sisters out there, do not comply. Use Article 3. Put your attorneys to work. Stand your ground. You have about a year to make it and survive. You can do it, but stand for freedom.
I'm telling you, man. Look, and the hat, I love it, man.
I know, I love the fedora. I thought it was Robert De Niro when he first
look here.
Up there. I'm like, what is Robert De Niro doing here?
No, he ain't no pansy like Robert De Niro.
This dude's way more of a man.
I'd punch him in the face. Robert De Niro.
Of Trump. Do you remember that?
Golly, yeah.
Like they thought that was such a big thing because he said.
Look how far it got.
Trump. But we're supposed to be clutching our pearls because people are saying let's go Brandon to incentivize the other way. But that's supposed to be worse.
No,
how? By the way, I want to just make a shout out to Brandon, Mississippi itself, and I got to show you this.
Yeah, we're from Brandon, Mississippi. That's right.
Have you seen the video?
Let's go Brandon. We've been screaming "Let's go Brandon" for years. I mean,
so I don't live in Brandon, Mississippi. I live in the rival team city of Brandon, Mississippi. But
Pearl.
Brandon.
Shout out to Pearl.
But Brandon, I've been screaming that this week, even though we're on the rival side. But I've been screaming "Let's go Brandon" this week. But literally, there's a pretty decent amount of Brandon city names throughout the country.
Yeah.
Guess which high school they decided to take a picture of and said, and it's been going around Twitterverse and everything.
Not ours.
Yes.
It's ours that's going around Twitter? All right.
And every time I read the comments, they're like, oh, well, I bet that they're going to get woke. A woke school board's going to take down the name now. Blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you don't know this. This is Mississippi. I said, this is actually the school that actually dropped the mask mandate like a month ago before everybody else in the district. Mm-hmm. So it is a very, very base school as far as that goes. I mean, everybody's going to have their issues. Yeah. But definitely when it comes to this, let me tell you. And actually, I did find out that during the pep rally, they actually are selling shirts. Let's go, Brandon.
Well, you know what we're doing for those parents out there that want to wear the mask and stuff? We're giving them the freedom to wear that mask.
That's right. That's right.
We're not telling them, you better take that mask off.
Right. And we're not going to tell any kids if their parents wish for them to have a mask. But if they do, that's up to them. And I'm not going to ever say anything to anybody. Ever. Just like you're not going to say anything to me.
Because I don't know that person. That person might have a weakened immune system. That person might,
for their own safety, by the way, there are, that was something I didn't get to put in here, but Fauci himself emails that was saying, please advise people not to wear a mask because it only protects the people outside. Like you put the mask on, it's supposed to protect that one person from this person who is sick. And it's only a little bit, he
was saying that March 2020.
He was saying healthy people should not be wearing masks.
Right.
March of 2020. But Rand Paul showed out for us this week. He did try to push back a little bit on that. I just wish I could hear something come out besides him going to a hearing and them calling him out and basically showing that he lied.
Yeah, now see, we've heard those debates.
These are just, it's starting to get bad. It's like, and then they're still bringing up for him to resign. I'm like, at this point, guys, he needs to be arrested.
Yeah, these hearings and stuff, I mean.
At this point, he needs to be arrested because number one, lied about gain of function. But then number two, the stuff that he was funding, like with the Beagles and everything, y'all, he cannot get away with this crap. He can't just resign and go off to
Where the hell is PETA?
Area. Wait. PETA's there. I'll show that to you later.
They're doing stuff, okay? Because I mean, they're not very loud on this one.
Actually, a podcast friend of mine posted literally on there about PETA. Where are you on the Beagle issue? And they actually replied to him. I had to show you that.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll delve into that on another show. Anyway, so I'm gonna sign off. Just letting you know.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Thank you, guys.
She's gonna sign off.
Okay, guys, please like, share, subscribe to the videos. We are going to try to at least get this podcast episodes out every week around Wednesday. Wake up, man.
I'm playing with you, girl. Go ahead.
Okay. You can follow us on pretty much anything at SKPcast, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Facebook, SK Podcast. Of course, YouTube. We're starting to sign up a few other things. We actually have our Patreon account up, and we will put that. We have that in the description as well. Have all these in the description. Please go like, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
Well, call a crackhead, call a criminal, call a meth head.
Just look for the videos. We're gonna have a couple of videos hopefully out before the next podcast episode. Along with our little rap song. So I hope you like it, okay?
Yeah, and some shorts out there, that we're trying to play around with, so they'll be easy to share, maybe have a good point in there that came out of these long discussions that we have. We want to get, like we're trying to do, just wake up the normies. So if you got some normie friends out there that need to hear a good point, or he need to hear something, some clip that was put on here, we'll try to get those into some shorts where you can just, send those.
We'll clip this up so you can share with your friends. But YouTube, you can now actually clip it out. Please clip it out and share it with your friends. So just check back with us. We will be uploading our new episode for the podcast on Thursday. Thank you guys so much. And my name is Kimberly Steinbrink. Y'all have a great week.
Stephen Rosario. See y'all later.
All right. Bye.
Looks like we're giving Lindsay Lohan the keys to the minibar. President Biden is sort of like Kevin Bacon at the end of Animal House, the cantina bar scene out of Star Wars. They wanted it like Ben wants J-Lo. I'm like Bluto in Animal House.
I'm just fat, drunk, and stupid.
Frankly, I can't because I can't get my head that far up my rear end.